I felt sort of guilty almost. Like if I'd kept my mouth shut, none of it would have ever happened. Like it was my fault. This is a quote from the story, Tim O'Brien's story, The Things They Carried. I don't have the book with me because of Easter break and winter storms, so that's the one I read. I read this book in my English class this year, and I'm really glad my English teacher had us read this because it's very eye-opening and it's a very entertaining story that I probably wouldn't have picked up myself. It is a story about Tim O'Brien, who is the writer but is also the main character in the story. He goes through the Vietnam War and talks about all the people he met and all the stories that you would never expect to hear from the Vietnam War. He explained that many people want to hear good things about the war, about if they won or the good things that happened during it, but none of the bad things. He always felt drowned by all the guilt he was carrying and all the death that was written upon him, and didn't want to burden other people with those details. People like Rat Kiley, Kiowa, Jimmy Cross, Azar, and Mitchell Sanders are a few of the other main characters that Tim O'Brien grew close with during the Vietnam War. This is a non-fiction type of story, which means it is true and it did happen, but some of the things are different versions of what had happened, so some of these characters aren't real, some of the characters are real. I was really glad that my English teacher had us read this book, and I got a different type of perspective about what happened during the Vietnam War, and it was a book that I wouldn't have picked up myself, but I'm glad I got to read it, and it was just a different eye-opener for me to see. I think that me as a senior, it was a really good book for me to read, but I think anyone in high school would really be interested in this book. If you're interested in learning more about the Vietnam War, this would be definitely something for you to read. I'm not going to spoil any of the book or what goes on, but it just tells most of the stories that happen at the Vietnam War. Some of them real, some of them not. Some of them different versions of the real story. But overall, I think it was a really good book, and it really grabbed my attention throughout the whole book. And there are many good things that I brought from reading this book. Thank you.